All right. I assume you can see my screen. Yeah, Alex, that was very informative. Thank you. I'm going to cover all the other service areas that we are exploring, using AI and using, the various AI tools out there. Quick background, my name is Waseem Andrabi. I'm the VP of Learning Solutions for KGL, and I come from a books background, books and education background. So some of the examples that I'm going to talk about would cover more, books and education, areas that we are looking at. But we, obviously are exploring all the different service areas. We've been using AI in copy editing for a while. But obviously with the developments of, and the release of these large language models, we have, and our customers are interested in seeing how all of this can be used to make the processes more efficient. We want to make sure that we, explore how AI can help us make any process and every service that we offer more efficient and more, reduce, any errors and any manual intervention where we can. So that being said, I'm going to talk about the other areas other than peer review, obviously, you heard from Alex about, that we are investigating at this point. This is obviously a very rapidly evolving area, and we want to make sure, like everything else, this seems like something that is literally a transformative change within publishing and making sure that we are able to keep track of the developments in AI, and making sure that any benefits that we can get out of using AI in any service areas can be passed on to our customers in discussion with there is no service where we are implementing AI without explicitly discussing any use cases, any case studies with our customers, if at all, where we find it useful. So, one of the various areas that we're looking at is obviously content creation, as in there is obviously a big debate about AI generated content. We are definitely exploring to see what is possible and what is not possible. Can we create certain passages and citations and informational text, or SE and TE content or standalone features for some of the products that we work on? As in, how does the content that's generated by these language models compare with what our subject matter experts are doing? So many of our customers have partnered with us to work on many of these aspects to see how successfully can we get close to or to the quality levels that a subject matter expert comes out with, right? The results are pretty mixed at this point. I can tell you that up front. As far as content creation is concerned, we are not close to generating content in any of the areas that we have tested, which would automatically be available for be available for use. We've tested assessments as well, generating some assessment content. There are many learning management system and assessment systems that we use that have tools built in now that we have been noticing. Sometimes tools that are released, sometimes tools that are in beta stages, where you feed in some content and it will generate assessment items, for example. If you ask somebody on the technology side of things, they are thrilled with the results that they're getting. But if when we show those results to our subject matter experts, there's a lot to be desired in terms of the quality of that content that is being generated at this point. That doesn't mean that quality would improve over time, and that's why we are constantly investigating the various AI models out there to see how things are evolving and how these models are improving. We're also trying to investigate things like plagiarism checks, translations, and adaptations as well from a content creation perspective. There's been some again mixed success from a media asset creation perspective as well. We investigating, creating some initial sketches for illustrations that we work on, whether they're standalone illustrations or illustrations in various styles. We do a ton of animations and videos. So we're evaluating the quality of those animations that are generated and videos that are generated through AI, and the production of either music, background audio, as well as voiceover using AI. There are certain areas where there has been more success than others. Voiceover being one of them. I think there are some tools available out there that are truly able to mimic, human voice, while there are others that can't do it. So we also, in terms of storyboarding, you feed in a manuscript into one of some of the AI systems that have done a better job than others, and you get a storyboard that then our editorial team can then use and work with, and makes the process more efficient. Again, a lot of it is in exploratory stages. The use cases that we have found so far are things like anything, initial sketches, right? Interim stages of deliverables to customers. We feel that there is some scope, some tools out there that have successfully gotten to that stage where we can use them. Again, these are being used in pilot projects with some of our customers at this stage. From a digital production perspective, again, exploratory at this point for most of it. Looking at writing code snippets, JSON formatting, doing actual composition, and evaluating the quality of the composition to avoid things like widows and orphans, and the placement of images, and those types of activities, HTML layout, and also schema markup generation. So again, all of this is in exploratory stage right now, for us. From a copy editing perspective, as in we've used NLP to edit and structure content, in Smart Edit, which is our, pre-editing, copy editing, XML generation tool for some time now. But we're evaluating the various, AI APIs available for integration into Smart Edit to even, to make the application even better, right? To enhance the features that are available within Smart Edit already. We are already analyzing text for grammar, spelling, style errors, but there are AIs out there that at least claim to make these functionalities better. Those are being evaluated at this point. Also making the copy editor's job easier, suggesting things like alternate phrasing to improve readability, checking for consistency in formatting and terminology, and also identifying plagiarism in the copy editing process. So these are, again, being investigated as we speak. Alt text generation is where we've seen a lot of interest from many of our customers. So we've done quite a bit of work in this area as well. We're trying to see if we can, if AIs that claim to identify images within, say, an online system or a PDF file, and then come up with alt text for it. And we've been testing various APIs for over 10 months, and the results early on were it was very questionable. I'm going to share some examples of alt text generated through various AIs over the last few months that we've been testing this. But we're evaluating this for technical, non-technical images, whether the AI is able to, detect the object, understand the scene that's being depicted in an illustration or in a graph or a chat, and then recognize the text that appears in an image as well. As well as, a lot of alt text also needs to be contextual, with the text that's around that image. So can AI be used to generate contextual alt text? We truly believe that the best person to generate alt text is the author who's writing the content. But and we have very elaborate author guidelines that we send to our authors that we work with, and sometimes authors use them, sometimes they don't. So a lot of times we are being tasked to write those descriptions, and we use subject matter experts at this point. But our customers are, we're doing pilots right now with multiple customers to see what AI can and cannot do. And I'm going to share a few examples, of various types of figures that we used, over the last 10 months. And things have changed, and things have rapidly changed in terms of what these tools can and cannot do. So I'm going to share what we found early on. And when I say early on, I'm talking about early this year, to what we are looking at now in terms of what AI alt text, is being generated for various types of images, right? So this was the image that we were looking at. And this was like, in the January, February timeframe, we were looking at, whereas AI outputs for alt text, this was the best that something came up with, at least using the word drivers, a very wrong sense in this, for this image. But right now, this is what AI came up with. Again, fairly incorrect in terms of how it's describing what is going on in the image. I think what we have found is AI tends to fill gaps, when it doesn't, and this has been true with the various models that we've tested. When it doesn't understand what's going on in an image, it tries to come up with a story that that hopefully fits. And so our subject matter experts are obviously not happy with this sort of description. And so even though it became more descriptive, it's still quite questionable in terms of the description. This is another example, again, very basic, what was coming back from various models early in the year. Again, a lot more description, a lot more understanding of the text that is in the image. But again, it was just making things up in some cases. Like here it says the awareness section is on the left side of the seesaw and the consciousness section is on the right side of the seesaw. That is absolutely not the case. Awareness and consciousness were on the same side of this image. So again, I think the results that we were getting were not acceptable for these types of illustrations from an SME perspective. And we looked at this image. It was simpler to understand. Is what we thought. This is what AI was suggesting a few months ago, and this is what AI suggested now. And it actually gave more information than what was available around this illustration. Again, a subject matter expert has to review it to make sure that it's accurate and it's something that can be used. But some of it, the fact that it came up with the fact that these are Nexium capsules, which are a type of heartburn medication, that surprised our subject matter experts a little bit. But it was better than some of the other results that we saw. The most success that we saw was with simple graphs and charts. So something like this, for example, again, earlier in the year, this was the that one of the AI models came up with a pie chart that shows the percentage of people who are in the United States. We have no idea why it said that, because that's clearly what it is. It was not. But recently, this is the result that we got, which was a fairly good description of what was going on, within this chart. So again, a lot more testing is needed to verify that this is something that could be relied upon. But for simpler charts and graphs, we're definitely seeing better results than something that is more complex in terms of a concept that's being explained. We tested out some medical illustrations. This is from a few months ago, a diagram of the parts of the human body, but this is more recent. Again, some additional information that's being added in there. Things like that the liver is a large, dark brown organ that is located in the upper right abdomen. Again, not information that was present in the illustration, but it's clearly trying to add to the information. Not something that we're supposed to do using alt text, but it's something that subject matter experts maybe can use. Again, things that we would keep evaluating over a period of time to see how the different models that we're testing are showing mixed results at this point, but that is true with anything new, any new technology out there. I remember when we started doing automated copy editing, or using automated tools for copy editing. Yeah, there were mixed results for that as well. So this is nothing different. So this is something that we will keep evaluating over a period of time, and as things get better, work with our customers to do pilot projects to see where it makes sense to use AI for any of these processes and services. Be happy to answer any questions at this point.